Yo, yo, what's up, guys? Bipolar Barbie here with another awesome video. Today I wanted to talk about something really interesting. And I guess it's about like your learning styles and the way that you retain information. I love learning. And there are many different ways to learn, and I think there are too many people in this world who are like allergic to learning, or they're like those people who claim they're like lactose intolerant, or you know they're allergic to gluten but they're not really celiacs. You know, there's people that like self-diagnose themselves. And I think lots of people also have this warped perception of what learning is about. They think of school, they think of learning as being in a classroom, and I think that is so wrong. I've been learning since the day I was born, and I'm going to learn until the day that I die. And I know my doctors have told me that it's not just about training your mind to do that, but I do have low latent inhibition, which basically means that my brain automatically absorbs more information than other people. My brain filters out less, and that's the way that I work, being on the spectrum. And having a high IQ does allow me to process all of that information a lot faster. It's also one of the reasons I'm batshit crazy. I can't stop my brain from thinking that way. It's not about like, oh, just stop thinking. That's not going to happen with me. But I have learnt the importance of like, okay, if my brain is going to absorb this information without me even trying, then I need to really, really pay attention to what my brain is absorbing. So, for example, whether it be the people I surround myself with, whether it be just the environment that I live in, you know, cities are not a good place for me. For that reason, my brain is observing the dirt on the pavement, the noise, the amount of people, like all of that shit just comes into my brain. And if you've ever seen those studies on like what negativity can do to cells, like in the plants, listening to different types of music, classical music will make the plants grow, positive affirmations will make the plants grow, heavy metal and negative, I guess, words and comments will actually kill plants. And they've also proven that childhood trauma doesn't just psychologically affect you, it actually changes your chemical makeup on a cell basis. It actually manipulates the cells in your body, so you are more prone to physical illness because of the amount of stress that being in that sort of traumatic environment will actually cause. So how is that relevant to what I want to talk about today? It's relevant because you know that I'm learning to rap, and I wouldn't say that I have a problem learning things because I don't, but I want to be effective. I want to learn quicker. I want to learn more. Like, that's my only regret in life, is that I can't learn more. Like, I want to be learning every second of every day, and that is my challenge of what I am doing right now. I am trying to use every second of every day, because time is the most valuable commodity that we have. So, you know, if you waste it, like, it's the world's most finite resource. And you will never get that time back. And if something was draining your money as quickly as it drains your time, how quick would you be to cut it loose? So, you know, but we don't do that with our time. And that's just such a shame. So what I've been doing is, I guess, like my learning style, I'm a really like social learner. I need like that full body experience to learn. I'm very visual. But the best way to do it is to have everything, to fully immerse myself in the experience using all of my senses, because then what happens is I'm learning from a sound point of view, and Northie wants to go to the toilet, so we'll let him outside. But then I'm learning from like a sound point of view, a visual point of view, a physical point of view. Like everything that I'm learning, it's connecting together in my brain, which means I am absorbing far more information than I would be if I was just reading something or I was just listening to something. So my brain has more references, more triggers for that recollection of information. When it comes to my rapping, I do kind of struggle, because reading and words, not necessarily my strong point as far as retaining information. Listening can be, but it's more the visual cues that make me remember a certain conversation, because I don't know if you've ever done this and compared the way that you think with someone else, because we just think everyone thinks the same way as us. Some people think in a stream of words. Some people think in pictures. Like, I have movies that play in my mind. So it's somewhat kind of like a photographic memory, but it's like a little folders of these video clips of my life that I can just access. Now, I'm trying to come up with ways of like, okay, how can I learn quicker? How can I learn better? How can I utilize this information that I know? And how can I make it a full body experience so that I have to, spend less time learning something, and I will learn it quicker, I will learn it better, and I will hold the information for a longer period of time. When I'm learning in my raps, for example, and I am trying to work out the whole syllable thing, so you get your multi-syllable rhymes and all that. So I've basically turned my rap education into a working art project. I've got mind maps, I'm talking highlighters, I'm talking colored paper, cue cards. I'm sorting things into lists, and it's the more that I visualize that, the more that I put it out in a way that is me, with my art, it not only makes it so much fun, because that's what I like to do. Stop it. Northy's trying to get this one little biscuit that's just gone under the cupboard. But yeah, so I've actually found how much information I've retained in the last 48 hours to just be insane. It's crazy. So I'm going to keep going with this plan. And what I find is that when I think of, for example, a rhyming word, rather than trying to rack my brain and going, oh my God, I can't think of something. Because of what I'm doing and the way that I'm trying to learn about it, it's each word I have now is in a category in my brain, and it's a picture. So I think of a word, and it's not necessarily the word, it's a photograph of that word wherever I've seen it, and in what category I've seen it in contrast, or not contrast necessarily, but in the same area as other words. And I'm wow, this is really effective. This is really cool. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. And I think just because you're doing more doesn't necessarily mean you're making more progress. I think the secret to progress and the secret to learning as much as you want to learn, there is no limit to the capacity that humans can learn, is really about finding an effective way and finding a way that works for you. And I just wanted to share this in case it works for anyone else. But just because someone says that you can learn this way, it doesn't mean you're going to learn. I think honestly the best thing you can do in life is get to know yourself, get to know your strengths, and definitely get to know what your weaknesses are so that you can fight them, you can combat them. And I don't think necessarily working on your weaknesses is always a good thing. I think sometimes if you work on your strengths, it will automatically start to bring up your weaknesses, if that makes sense. If sound and words aren't necessarily my strength, working on them visually actually turns them into a strength because of the way that my brain is now processing that information. So I don't know if you guys are going to find this video helpful, but put it in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what your learning styles are. If you don't know, you can do a test online. The trouble is when they go answer this question, normally it's all in words, which really is a stupid thing for a learning style to work out whether you appeal to pictures and sounds. It should be more of a fully encompassing experience. But the trouble with me is it's basically all of them. But visual is definitely the one that stands out. But I need to have that full body experience to be able to retain information, and maybe we all do. But if you're trying to learn something new, then give it a go. And give, I guess, some thought to how you learn and how you maintain information, and never stop learning. I mean, people ask me if I study psychology, and it's well, no, I've never actually formally gone to uni and studied psychology, but I've been studying people and human psychology since I was a little kid. Study the world around you, be curious, ask questions, work out how things work. I just never understand the mindset of people who don't do that. But that's just me, and that's the way I've always been. I'm always asking why, and I need to know how things work. It's a compulsion. It's an obsession. I like to know everything. But I also know that I don't know everything, but it's like my life mission to know as much as I can. And I think if there was more people in the world like that, then like Trump wouldn't be president. So, yeah. That's life. That's my life. Can't wait to hit you up with some new stuff. It's come really quickly and I've come so far. I'm just terrified to share it. Filled with low self-esteem. But I'm going to be working on that. Trying as hard as I can. But that is, I am my greatest enemy. My fear of failure and being not good enough is literally what just absolutely cripples me. So if I can find the secret to overcoming that, then I think we'll find the secret to world peace. Or at least inner peace in our own little worlds. I love you all, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I want to know how you're going. Let me know, and I'll try and get back to you. I mean, I have a life. And by life, I mean I'm mentally ill. So, I don't have a life. My life is non-existent. As non-existent as my sex life. But I'm fine with both of those things. So, me, myself, and I'm in a committed relationship to myself, committed to my dreams, my future, and making my life a reality because I've spent way too much of my life committed to other people, and that sucks. I've wasted so much time on people who didn't deserve it. And things that just didn't deserve my time and energy. It's all about getting my priorities right, all about working. It's a work in progress, and every day I'm just like a little bit more putting those pieces together and be the best version of myself. And the only thing standing in my way of that is me. So, yeah. Put my big girl pants on and get my shit together. I'm still ranting, so I'm gonna go. Much love.